All right, well, I guess I gotta get comfortable filming myself. But this video is all about changing your bright white lights, like these super bright white lights in your RV, to something a little softer like that. So from that to that, this is the video on how we did it, and you can too. Okay, it's really easy. All you do is pop these little guys off like so, and then take these 4 screws out. I'll speed up the video on this part. You basically just pull this down like so, and pull out your wiring. So at this point, I just basically cut one wire at a time. You don't want to cut both at the same time because you're going to blow a circuit or something. And then I'm going to strip these back one at a time as well. So pull that back like so, and then I have this handy dandy set. Follow over here. So Scott, who did the boards, he's like a master mechanic as well as a master electrician. So he bought all these little pins right here. So you basically, I don't know where the pin is. Where'd it go? So this pin right here goes over the wire. You twist the wire a little bit here, and then you put the pin over the wire like so until the wire comes out of the top of the pin. And then we have this crimper that's right here. You put the crimper over this like so, and you crimp it. And there's a little bit of wire coming out the end right here. So on the wire on the end, you basically just tighten it up and pull off the last bit. I always do one at a time, so you don't cross the wires and, you know, create a little electrical shock. And then we have these beautiful little things over here. Here, you can come over here. So Scott got an assortment of all these different kinds of things. Some we had to put these little screw terminals on, and these are just little press terminals. So when we come back over here again, and you just press on this terminal here, slide this in like this, and that will not come out. It's not coming out at all. And like I said, I do one at a time. So this one's done, it's all wired in there, and you're not gonna electrocute yourself or blow a fuse or anything. And now we go on to the next one. Pretty easy, super duper fast. And now when I am going to strip these back and do the same thing that I did with this, with the little terminals, when I'm done, I can just plug these into this end, black to black, white to white, and then Scott does all the back end stuff, changing out the light bulbs from these really bright LEDs to the nice soft white light.
Warm white.
There you go, warm light. Okay, so this one's Scott's done with the nice warm light, and you put those in like so. It's super easy to once you put these connectors in, it's super easy. And look at that light. That light compared to that light. And of course this doesn't have the little dome on it, but that is a much prettier light. Sweet. What? Oh, okay, and then you can just button it up. Just push this back up in there. Now, when you definitely do it, don't do like the installers when they did it in the factory. They just shove these things up there and they pinch these wires against there. Make sure this is all put up nice and pretty up there. And it's not pinching anything. And voila. You're done. All you gotta do is put these screws in, put the cap back on, and you're done. So that's quite a stark difference.
Okay, so after we remove the LED lamps from the board, we use a little isopropyl alcohol and just clean it up. Clean up the old rosin from the original solder job. The reason I do this is because if you go through a couple cycles of heating this board, it gets really hard to get off later on. So yeah, I may have to clean it once or twice, but it's the difference between being able to clean it and not sometimes without spending a lot of extra work. All right. Next we clamp it in here, just because I don't have 3 arms, 3 hands to hold it. And of course we got to wait for the soldering iron to get hot.
So this is an air heat gun over here, and you have to have it up to 499 degrees, basically to have it fall off, and then also to put it back on. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, you probably can remove it with less heat, but the board saturates the longer you hold the heat on. So I just get it done and then get on to the next thing. And the next thing is I use this solder. It's a 6337, and it's a 0.3 millimeter. And I just turn the soldering iron up to 700 or 800 just to get it done. And I'm just going to wet the pads so that the new light will stick.
On this one, I'll try to go ahead.
Doesn't take much. I just take this little rosin flux pen, and this is it's an RA. It's an RA flux, and just coat the pads a little bit, and I do one at a time because the heat from the board causes it to activate, and I want it to activate as soon as I put it on, not prematurely. These are the new LEDs. You can tell the positive end from the negative because I don't know if you can see right there in the corner, there's a little triangle cut off the corner.
Let me show the package too.
These are warm white, and says they're 5 watt. 5730 is the number for the size, and the color is warm white.
Okay.
Now on the gap between the center pad and this edge is got a bigger space than this side, and this bigger gap is the negative side, and it correlates with the triangle missing from the corner, or the corner missing from the corner.
Okay.
So this board, the negatives are on the outside, so we just make sure that we put it on. I don't use tweezers because I drop more stuff. And I just set it on approximately where it goes. Get my heat gun underneath, and I take the Q-tip and I put the Q-tip in the middle of it, and I kind of line it up where the lines are around the old one, and I hold it down, and now I'm looking for solder to come squirting out of the ends. And there it is. And just hold it there for 5 or so seconds, 10 seconds. Sometimes you can see the solder changing color when it's solidified. And maybe 10 seconds and then lift off. And there she is. And so you can see the solder squirted out at the end. squirt it out at the end.
Perfect.
Of course, everyone I picked up is backwards.
Finish with the last light on there.
Got little 12-volt source here.
And there you go. A nice warm light compared to the other ones that are obnoxious. Thanks, Scott.
And that was these are 7 cents a piece, the way I buy them. So for 42 cents, a little bit of labor, we save some landfill.
Totally. Awesome.
Okay.
When you pull your wires down from up in here, definitely be careful, because on this white wire here, I pulled it so hard that this little connector fell off. So I had to put a different kind of connector on here. That's why we have different connectors. But this one works really well. It's nice and tight. And then over here, also, if you have it in series like this, basically just cut the wires right here, like I showed you in the previous video, and then you put on the connectors like I did as well. And it works perfectly. Very nice, very easy. And as you can see, I've done all the wiring in the entire RV here and here. And then on all of these lights as well, I've changed them out to the nice soft white light. And then coming down here on the master, I've done all the overheads. So when I say I did all the wiring, Scott did all the hard work, which is the, you know, actually putting the LEDs in there. Cool. I hope you guys learned something, and if you have any questions, comment below. Appreciate it.